And this is the key. This is what I've actually learned and realized, is that the people who are fit and stay fit like throughout the year and most of their life, 90% of the time, not even like 80, like 90% of the time, they are on their shit. They're saying no. They're saying no. They're done. They're not eating anymore. They're eating as little as possible. Hello to my 8 subscribers. I'm grateful for you guys, no, genuinely. Yeah, so today I'm going to make a cut update video because I'm about 4 months into my cut now, and I've made some decent progress, not to brag or anything. Yeah, so I just want to talk about like what I'm eating, my workout plan, what it's like traveling while I'm on a cut, and the progress I've made so far. So I'm currently about 4 months into my cut, and from February 6th, which is, I technically started in January, but I wasn't fully committed and I didn't make any progress in January. The official start date is like February 6th. Today is June 3rd, if you can see. Basically that's like 4 months, so February, March, April, May. So 4 months that I've been on this cut. Officially on the scale, I am 15 pounds down, so that's great. I'm gonna post a video right here that is when I was 220 pounds, which is my starting weight. I'm currently now 205, so this is what I looked like at 220 pounds. This is what I look like now, 205. In my opinion, where I see the most change is probably like in my face, my stomach, my legs, honestly all over. I could definitely tell a difference between 15 pounds ago and now. My goal is around 150 pounds, so I'm still pretty far from where I actually want to be. I'm about 55 pounds away, which is a lot. And so I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the progress I've made so far, but there's definitely a long way to go and I need to stay focused and just continue, honestly. It might take me another year, but I'm fine with that. I just want to get to my goal. Some stuff down to go over. Total weekly calories. So I use MacroFactor, which is the app that I think Jeff Nippard created. I really like it. I think it's a great calorie tracking app, and I use that every single day. I set my own calories on the app, so I personally adjust my calories, honestly, during the week sometimes even, but generally I try to remain around 1,500 or less calories a day. However, I do travel and I do enjoy myself on the weekend. So on the weekend, I might have 1 or 2 days where I'm at around 2,500 calories, which is my maintenance basically. But I try to keep myself at around 1,450 or under plus cardio. I try to create a decent deficit on like, you know, Monday through Friday of the week. At least 5 out of 7 days of the week, I need to be at 1,450 or less. Plus cardio, which will help me lose around 1.5 pounds a week, considering the going out on the weekend or whatever it may be. So when I used to do this in the past, I would honestly just binge on the weekends. I don't do that anymore. But it's just very easy to eat a little bit more. Like, it really does not take much to get you from 1,800 to 2,500 calories. That's like, it could be a freaking donut. I mean, it's not that hard. So that's why when I'm traveling on the weekends or I'm with my family or friends or we're doing something, but just so you know, I know that everyone says that you should intuitively eat. It has taken me 10 years to get here, okay? I didn't understand, I didn't even know, I heard what intuitive eating was. I didn't know what intuitive eating actually is until like this last year when I actually worked on it. And so now I'm able to do that and not overeat. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel like binging. I'll just have a little bit more than I usually do. And I try to remain at least 2,500 calories or less, which is around my maintenance. And so yeah, so if I'm able to stick to a pretty strict 1,000 calorie deficit during the week, and then maybe Saturday or Sunday or both, I eat a little bit more, it's usually fine, and I can still lose about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds in that week. By doing that, my average calories daily, if I took the average of the entire week divided by 7, it would be probably around 1,800 calories. That would have me losing about a pound or a little bit over a week, which is what I've lost at this point. So yeah. So my routine. Honestly, my boyfriend and I travel a lot. I travel a lot. I still like to enjoy myself. Although I do try to stay home as much as I can, at least right now, just because I do want to stay locked in. But I do like to take trips. I like to hang out with my friends. I go see my family a lot, go see my boyfriend's family a lot. So I've had to learn how to deal with this while traveling, and I'm still not perfect at it. But for my routine, basically, the days that I am home and the days that I'm fully locked in, this is what my routine looks like. In the morning, I usually just have any type of caffeine. It'll be a Celsius, which I don't necessarily like to start my day off with a Celsius, okay? But some days I am desperate and I just need a kick in the ass. And I also need something to suppress my appetite, and usually Celsius just kind of fucks up my gut a little bit, which is really bad, I know, but it works. When you're tired and you haven't slept well because you're eating 1,400 calories, anyway, whatever. So Celsius, or what I really prefer is like a yerba mate, but the issue with yerba mate is that most of them have sugar and over like 60 calories. And that's okay sometimes, but usually in the morning I don't want to, I'm trying to fast for the most part. I'm not saying I'm in a true fasting state. I'm obviously having a Celsius or something, but I want to not eat any food until like 11:30 or 12. And so if I have those calories, it's just going to be extra calories that I don't really need. So I try to find yerbas that are low in calories, low in sugar, 15 calories or so. And yerba is my favorite source of caffeine. It makes me feel great. I don't crash. I don't have to, it myself. So they're my favorite, but not always an option, and they're expensive. Third option is coffee, and coffee sometimes is a double win because I can make a protein coffee, so I am willing to sacrifice calories for that. If it's gonna get me protein, like either I'll put 2% milk in my coffee, which is about 8 grams of protein, or if I'm really desperate, I'll put a whole protein shake in my coffee. I like that flavor too. It just depends which one I prefer that morning. I usually have lunch around 11:30 or 12, and for lunch, what I typically have is about 3 or 4 eggs, maybe some egg whites, bacon, cheese, and a couple tortillas, and that's it. It's just basically scrambled eggs. I love it. I look forward to it every single day. It keeps me full. If you didn't know, eggs keep you very, very full. They are an excellent way to start your day. Once I started eating eggs for breakfast or lunch or whatever, my first meal of the day, my life changed, honestly, because they actually kept me full. I'd never experienced fullness from breakfast until I started eating eggs, and I would be full for 3, 4, 5 hours later, and it would feel great. So yeah, if you're struggling with feeling hungry, try to eat eggs for breakfast. I promise you it'll help. And not just egg whites, because egg whites are filling, but they are not as filling as whole eggs. Whole eggs will help keep you really, really full because of the fat. So that's my lunch, and then I'll usually have some sort of snack before my workout, which is around 5. I'll try to eat maybe half a banana. There's this brand called Joyride, and it's like little sour belts and stuff, but they're like lower sugar. So I have some of those sometimes, but usually it's not more than like 100 to 200 calories. For lunch, my lunch is pretty big. So my lunch is usually like almost half my day's worth of calories, around 600 to 700. And I'm fine with that because I only have 2 meals in a day, and lunchtime is middle of the day, so I want to stay full for as long as I can after. So then I go to the gym, get my workout in, go home, it's dinner time. For dinner, I make a chuck roast barbacoa. It's in a crock pot, delicious, super easy to make. It's just beef basically. So I'll have beef with rice, or have beef with a couple of tortillas, something like that. And then for dessert, I usually always have a sweet treat. I cannot escape having a sweet treat after dinner. I have to. I usually have a popsicle. I found these popsicles from Aldi that are like 60 calories. They taste amazing, and now that summer's around, it's really refreshing, so I like that. I try to also keep watermelon in the house now that it's summer because watermelon is super low calories, and super filling as well, so I try to eat that. Another dessert option is like a protein bar. I really like so fun fact, I used to work at GNC, and I've tried like almost all protein bars, all protein Pop-Tarts, like all that shit. And I've gotten so tired of them. Like, I genuinely want to throw up eating a lot of protein bars now. I just can't do it anymore. So, but there is one from Costco. Well, I guess it's not from Costco, but it's Fit Crunch. And those ones are really, really yummy, specifically the chocolate peanut butter ones. I'm a hoe for peanut butter. I could eat a whole jar of peanut butter one sitting. And those ones are delicious. Those ones are fucking delicious. I usually only have like 100 or 200 calories left after dinner, if that. So I try to avoid having too much after dinner. Then I go to bed, and that's pretty much it. Oh, forgot to mention, at lunchtime I do have my vitamins as well. The last thing I want to talk about is just like traveling while you're on a cut or a diet. Traveling while you are on a cut is very, very difficult. I think just no matter what, it's difficult because you're just in an environment where you don't have control over, not that you don't have control, you don't have as much control over what you have to eat and the options that you have. And usually the options are shitty, at least in America. It's just all fast food. And at most of the fast food places, it's very hard to find something that fits within, whatever your calories are. At this point, I would say that, you can use tips and tricks and whatever, right, while you're traveling to not overeat. But you gotta do the work beforehand. Like, you need to do the work beforehand and learn how to stop yourself from eating. How to put the fucking fork down, okay? Because I was not able, like, for years, I was not able to go out for a weekend and not stuff my face full for the entire weekend, come back, and then all my progress is erased for the week. Now I have learned how to do that, but it's because I have learned how to heal my gut, eat mostly whole foods, and intuitively eat. But the only reason I've learned to intuitively eat is because I fixed the things that I'm eating most of the time. And this is the key. This is what I've actually learned and realized, is that the people who are fit and stay fit like throughout the year and most of their life, 90% of the time, not even like 80, like 90% of the time, they are on their shit. They're saying no. They're saying no. They're done. They're not eating anymore. They're eating as little as possible. And by eating as little as possible, I don't mean nothing. I mean they are controlling their portions always. They are always careful about what they put in their mouth. That's not fun to hear. Like, to be honest, that's not something I want to hear. And that's not something that most people who, have my issue of overeating want to hear, but it's the truth. You just have to stay on your shit. You have to say no more often than you say yes. Again, it's hard, right? You're on family, they offer you food. You're going out somewhere, the fast food options are shit, right? Like, you have to eat a tiny little thing because it's 500 calories and nothing else on the menu works, right? So it's like, it sucks. But that's the truth. You really have to do the work beforehand, which is why I don't suggest traveling if you, while you're on a diet, unless you know how to, operate in that situation and control yourself. My cut update, so we're 4 months in, got about 55 more pounds to go. It's gonna be a long journey, but yeah, I think I got this, and I honestly feel like the habits I have instilled at this point are gonna get me all the way, and I'm excited to keep going. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking my other video as well. I honestly didn't even expect it to get more than 10 views. If you do have any questions about anything I said, let me know, because it's hard. This stuff is hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to talk about. It's not easy to do. And so if you have questions about losing weight or whatever it may be, just let me know, because I'm here to help. And yeah. Take care, guys, and talk to you later. Bye.